For your chance to win a 1974 BMW 2002 Turbo, $20,000 in cash, and to donate to a great charity, click the link in the video description for more information. In this episode of Restore It, I finally show you where the sport has been for the past few months and some of the progress that's been made on the chassis. It's been here at Autotrapper Blasco, a car garage close to me that not only deals with the usual car related maintenance stuff, but also crash damage, bodywork and paint correction. They have 2 spray booths, a paint mixing room and enough tools and special equipment to complete full car restorations. Something they have over 25 years of experience in. At this point the car had been in the workshop for about a week, and in that time a few things had already been done. The left hand side of the firewall was missing quite a bit of material, so a large section was cut out and replaced with a section of a new panel from E30 Garage Norway. I think I'll get the bottom section redone whilst the car's in the hands of professional welders. This was the first welding job I attempted on the car, and as many of you pointed out, it was absolutely shit. The driver's side footwell had quite a large hole in the corner, which was replaced with new metal, and the throttle pedal mount was about 50% rust, so it will be replaced with a new one also from E30 Garage Norway. If you can remember back to when I was learning to weld in my workshop, I removed these badly done lap welds and replaced them with butt welds. I actually missed a bad spot in the passenger side floor pan. This was replaced with a correctly done lap weld, sealed from both sides around the entire piece. When it came to the rear of the car, our plans changed quite a few times in terms of what to repair or what to replace altogether. The rear battery tray and opposite section where the jack sits were both a remove and replace job. Once they were removed, it revealed quite a lot more rust damage than we were expecting. A lot of work had to be done to clean these areas up before the new sections could be welded in. This is the new battery section that will be replacing the old one. This is the old one, the poor thing. I think it is original. And this is how the new one's going to fit in, something like this. Originally, we were going to use these small rear sections and deal with some of the repairs on each of the quarter panels, but in the end we decided it would be less work to just replace the quarter panels with new ones altogether. This meant the new quarter panels would negate the need for these 2 pieces. Once the quarter panels were off, work could then be more easily carried out on the inner arches and surrounding areas, which was a bonus to quite a pricey procedure. Before we continue with the removal of the quarter panels, I have a quick word from our sponsor, Omaze. To support a great cause, Omaze is giving you the chance to win one of the rarest BMWs in the world. A 1974 BMW 2002 Turbo with taxes and shipping costs included, plus $20,000 in cash to add turbo power to your bank account. You could be driving away with this cult classic that's been carefully restored by its previous owners, racing legends Bobby and Graham Rahal. To make all of this even better, every donation helps support the Peterson Automotive Museum, a charity that explores and presents the history of the automobile and its impact on global life and culture. Each year, they work with local schools to coordinate field trips for children to go on STEAM-focused tours. Your generosity will help the museum achieve their goal of educating more than 25,000 children this year. So to potentially win the BMW 2002 Turbo, $20,000 in cash, and to support the Peterson Automotive Museum, a great cause, go to omaze.com/restore it. Thanks to Omaze for supporting this episode. Let's get back to the chassis. What I'm about to show you was meant to be an epic time lapse of the removal of the quarter panels, the tail panel and the side skirts, but due to some camera issues, I can only show you what I have. Firstly, the rear left quarter panel was cut, spot welds ground down and removed. Next, the adjoining side skirt spot welds were ground down and it too was removed. I do have some footage that worked out well enough to use, so I'm going to show you everything I have. Once all of the spot welds were ground down, a pry bar was used to split the old pieces off the chassis. Once they were off, the spot welds and leftover rust were ground down and cleaned up with some metal prep pads in preparation for the new panels. The rear left quarter panel attachment points were then also cleaned up in the same fashion. The same then went for the rear quarter panel itself. These spot welds run around the entire piece and must all be separated before it will come off. After a lot of grinding, enough to annoy my neighbours, it was free to come off. By this point, the rear battery tray had been welded in to the repaired area and was looking pretty good. The right hand side skirt was then removed in 2 pieces because of how rusty it was. The chassis was then cleaned up with a grinder to get it ready for the new piece. Lastly was the tail panel, something that was also not worth repairing. The amount of time and money spent repairing each defect would have been unrealistic, and with E30 Garage Norway's identical part available, it was a no-brainer just to replace it. The removal process was much like the rest of it. Because both quarter panels had already been removed, it was only being held on by spot welds along the bottom. Once they were all drilled out, it was free to come off. The bottom lip was then ground down to reveal the good metal. More work is needed on this side of the boot before the new quarter and tail panel can be fitted, as well as just in front of the wheel arch. Once a bit more of the welding is complete, the chassis is going to be fully blasted to remove this primer and any surface rust that has started to emerge, as I'm sure some of you have noticed. All of the panels fitted in this workshop were TIG welded instead of MIG, a tool I really want for my workshop for future projects. Here are a few close-up shots of the areas that had some work. And the chassis as a whole, which looks almost unrecognisable at this point. Taking a look at the rear left quarter panel after it had been removed from the car really assured us that we made the right decision. There were so many individual areas that needed repairing, we would have been here ages. The rear arch on this side had already been done in the past, but even the new one was rusty in all of the normal places. They must have been done quite some time ago. It was definitely less bad on the other side, but bad enough, and if you're going to do one, you might as well do both. The small sections we were originally going to replace were like patchwork pieces, not a lot of original metal there anyway. There was, however, a lot of body filler holding the patchwork together. The tail panel has always been an issue ever since I bought the car. The seal at the top had rusted all the way along the width of the car and was always leaking water. The license plate lights were both rusted out, as well as both sides along the bottom where the bumper attaches. This is the part of the side skirt that couldn't hold on any longer. This part of the side skirt is definitely a weak point. The other one wasn't doing much better either. The metal where the new right quarter panel is going to be welded to needs some work, which would include a clean-up, making sure it's all straight and adding some new metal. The front of the rear left wheel arch will need a section cutting out and replacing with a custom made piece. Some of the welds I did were cleaned up, double checked and filled with some body filler to disguise their crappiness. The right hand side skirt was mostly in good condition and was ready to go. Sorry about the sketchy footage in this one. All of the work going forward is going to be filmed in the usual style and nothing will be missed. This car won't leave this workshop until all of the welding, bodywork and paint is completed, all of which I will be showing you in coming episodes. Thanks for watching, and before I go, don't forget to go to omaze.com/restore it for your chance to win a BMW 2002 Turbo, $20,000 in cash, and to support the Peterson Automotive Museum. You can find that link at the top of the video description. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.